A narcissist and their children. Sadly, a narcissist will use their own children. There are lots of ways they do this, as you might already know. They know how much those children mean to you, how much you love and care about those children, so they will happily use them to manipulate you, to hurt you, and to upset you any way they can, which also hurts the children, and they just do not understand this, nor do they care. First, learn not to let the narcissist know things have bothered you. They know the children are what you will most passionately stick up for and defend, why they play all those hideous games with their own children, and it's extremely hard at first not to react. They might up their games when they don't get any reactions from you. They might find someone else to hurt. Stick with no reactions. It gets easier once we understand that's all they want and start to focus less on them and their mind games and focus more on ourselves and our children. So, why do they have children? What is parental alienation? What effects they have on children? What they see children as, some of the manipulations they do, and what can you do to protect yourself and your children. That is what this video is about. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, ways to handle them or go no contact, and how to recover from narcissistic abuse. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers. I'm glad you're finding the videos of value. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Also, please add anything in the comments that you'd like any more information on, or anything that's helped you recover from this, because that one comment might just help somebody else. So why do narcissists have children? They like to repackage their shame as a false dream. Having a child to them is a self-serving illusion, a feel-good redemption story about themselves, recasting themselves into victim mode when the other parent will not let them see the child, or the hero mode as they've saved the child from the crazy parent that they sent that way. Creates a short creates distance of the fundamental brokenness within themselves. This cannot last for them, as they never dig deep to heal their inner traumas and their inner selves. Partners often stay way longer than they should because of their beliefs about a child's family unit. Good men and good women do find it hard to leave, as they want the children to have both parents and a family home. They can try to use the children in any way they can to keep control of other people or the other parents. They believe and do behave as they want. They happily ignore rules and don't believe they have to abide by them. They will never accept blame. They will rarely apologise. The only time they will offer a false apology is if they want something from you, they are hoovering you, or they have something to gain by doing so. They will not help in scenarios, be it work or home or with the children. They love making promises and then breaking promises and agreements, failing to pay in respects of obligations such as bills. They have grand ideas and make great plans with you and the children, but rarely act on these, often blaming you or denying making these arrangements in the first place, repeatedly lying to maintain the avoidance of accountability of those who are challenging them. The only way to beat them is to remove them from your life, and this is rather impossible when it comes to having children together. So, what is parental alienation? Now, this is most commonly known as one parent not letting the other parent see a child. Which, yes, I agree, some narcissistic mums and some narcissistic dads can do this as a weapon. Unfortunately, then a lot of good mums and good dads that have woken up from the spell a narcissist has put them under and sees the damage caused to the child's mind, gets accused of alienating the child and the parent when they are actually trying to protect. Often the children have anxiety or depression, and this is usually blamed on the parent who is assumed to be alienating. Now, if the parent who is alienating is toxic and is the narcissist, this could be true. Most often, though, once the child no longer sees or has limited contact with the narcissistic parent and the other parent recovers, children do so much better. Sam Vaknin claims children should not be around these people. Yes, someone without empathy is or can be extremely dangerous. A true narcissist can be extremely dangerous, not only mentally but also physically. So follow what you believe is in the best interest of you and your child. If you think contact is unsafe, it's unsafe. It's on a spectrum though, so be careful which way you go. Good mums and good dads often feel extreme guilt cutting contact. Even though they know it's for the best, it's hard to do. And especially when others do not see what's happening. A child is better off with good parents or one good parent. They are not better off with an abusive parent. I shall add a link in the description about overcoming guilt. Now, men and women can up and leave their children, then claim they didn't. They only left the child's mum or dad. Often a narcissist has jumped straight into a new relationship and expects children to just adapt. This isn't true. Children don't simply adapt. Children hurt and question what they did for their mum or dad to leave. They question what they could change about their own behaviour so that mummy or daddy would live with them. Children have to heal from the trauma and the pain also. Young or old, we are all human with thoughts, emotions and feelings. As the child's parent who was left hurts, as does the child. Now, if you've been abused, you need to leave and do whatever you can to leave with the children. If you're a man or a woman and you leave the family home for a new family, you left the children for a new partner, and the children feel this. They both feel abandoned. Yes, good people do make this mistake. Good people do make this mistake. Those good people tend to see and wish they'd done things differently afterwards. So just because a man or a woman leaves, it doesn't make them a narcissist. If they were abusive, mentally or physically or both, they are most likely a narcissist. Relationships can break down. Those with empathy will do their best to damage control and do their best for all parties' feelings to be hurt as little as possible. In this situation, there is always going to be hurt feelings, whether it's with a narcissist or not. So good people will try to support everyone through. Those without empathy will not care for how the parent or the child feels, as they have no empathy to genuinely care. They will run mass smear campaigns and do all they can to keep twisting the knife in, to make the healthy parent look unhinged and like the bad one, the crazy one. They will play victim or the hero, but they will never play the villain. To me, there is paternal alienation and maternal alienation when the other parent wasn't abusive, yet the narcissists are no longer allowing the children to see them. Someone who's abusive often has little to no empathy, therefore they will not put the children's needs first. Yes, if you've been abused, leaving is putting you and your children's health and safety first. If two healthy parents separate, they will try to support each other for the children, learn how to treat each other. And yes, it's hard at first, especially if one didn't want it to end, but they will eventually find a way. A narcissist will not do this. emotional and psychological damage that a narcissistic parent can cause their own child. It is horrendous, it's heartbreaking, and it's overwhelming. It's unbearable at times for the parent trying to do their best for themselves and the children. So what do narcissistic parents see children as? Narcissistic parents see their children as a possession, and most will plot and plan any way they can to get control of their children's minds. The narcissist sees all others as an extension of themselves, including their own children. If the children are seen as attractive to them or have a gift, all children are gifted. But if the narcissist perceives them to have a gift that they value, then they will use it to make themselves look better. They actually believe that they are an excellent parent. Those that stick around to counter-parent, they don't see how the letdowns or the negative talk has negative effects on the children. They really believe they are a great parent. They believe the other parent is at fault. Their lack in cognitive reflection and lack in guilt or remorse, I'll add a video at the bottom about cognitive reflection, means they never see any part they played and most genuinely believe the other parent is at fault. So if you've ever questioned yourself, have empathy to care for others, find it difficult to understand what the best thing to do is, and then when you follow your instincts, feel guilty, you are not a narcissist. I'll link the video for cognitive reflection in the description. Narcissists will go all out in the smear campaign to all those around them, including the children, about the healthy parent. Some of these parents have been isolated from friends and family because of the narcissist, making it even tougher. They will step up their games through the children, through mediation, through family court, in order to win the children at all costs and hurt people. They will blame the normal parent for the relationship breakdown to the child. They will want the child to doubt the other parent so that the child goes to them for reality checks. They might say straight out to the children, your parent is mean, your parent is lazy, you don't have to listen to their regimented rules, come live with me. They will repeat these things to get those seeds of doubt and thoughts planted in their minds to remain in the children's heads. They will gaslight their own children. They may play inappropriate songs on repeat. They may threaten or phone social services, child protection on the healthy parent. They don't care if the child ends up in a foster home, so long as it hurts you. They're not actually in it for the children. They're just in it for their own gains and their own things that they like to play. They will often give the children no boundaries or rules, telling the children, I know it's boring at your other parents, I'll make it exciting when you're back with me. If the child mentions the other parent to them, they will shut the child down. We don't discuss this, we don't need to discuss this, or that's not important. Or they might just roll their eyes to make the child feel bad. If the children choose to spend too much time with the healthy parent, the narcissist will use silent treatment on the child to make the child feel bad. Effects that it has on children. So the narcissistic parents' traits versus what they cause within children are things like attachment, trauma within the child as they never truly feel validated. Grandiose, the child feels like they can never measure up. Entitlement, the child often feels unimportant and uncomfortable. Vanity, the child feels like a trophy. Selfish, the child's needs are often ignored. No empathy, the child feels misunderstood, fear of not doing things their parents' way. Competition, the child feels like they can just not measure up. Manipulation, the child walks on eggshells. So, much like what being around a narcissistic person does to an adult, it does it to a child's mind too. Children can learn they have to be a certain way, act a certain way, do certain things to get affection from the narcissistic parent. The children can then feel and learn they have to lie about certain things or keep secrets about certain things. The children can develop anxieties and depression. They might self-harm, struggle with their emotions. Children may then learn to play parents off against each other as they grow older. They can struggle throughout adulthood if it's not dealt with correctly in childhood, and they may struggle to regulate their own emotions. Now, narcissists do find children an inconvenience a lot of the time. So they'll either never see the children, yet all the blame will be laid on the other parent's door for not allowing them to see them. They will use the children for their own gains, the grand stories. They'll tell others about what a great parent they are, how amazing the children are. They will pick the children up when convenient or needed and drop them when not, and they will put a grand act on when they're out with them. They will happily, with no shame, use the children to get their next partner drawn into the lies by showing others what a great parent they are, but these people only get a glimpse. Plus, narcissists are great storytellers and liars to others. They are so great because they often believe their own lies. It's their reality. I shall link in the descriptions a video about why they believe their own lies. If you have more than one child with a narcissist, they will usually make one the golden child. The golden child is usually the one that naturally conforms to their demands. They are still affected, as when they don't conform, they receive cruelty, silent treatments, criticism, until they learn how not to go against the parent. They give up their true selves to please the parent, and this can lead for a very shy, quiet, scared individual that's extremely confused, not trusting others, yet they can end up trusting too much whilst questioning everything and everyone in the world. The scapegoat child is usually more strong-willed and willing to challenge the parent, which angers them. They receive the same cruelty, silent treatments, criticism as the golden child, yet much more often. Because the scapegoat is constantly blamed in childhood, because they have more of an adverse childhood, they often find inner strength a lot sooner, and this inner strength often helps them distance themselves from the parent a lot sooner. There is a link, I'll add a link in the description about the scapegoat children. So, parenting with a narcissist. Well, this isn't easy. I've lived it myself. The narcissist will teach the child to question themselves and about you. So try not to tell them any white lies. In a normal thing, yes, we can say, well, I haven't got money for that today. When the other parent is toxic, you've got to try and stick to truths at all times. Think before you speak and try to stick to your words, something that the other parent struggles with. And always explain your actions if they differ to your words. Always listen to what the child has to say. You really do have to. Parenting's difficult enough, and there's no right way or wrong way to parent. There is only your way, but you do have to up your parenting game if they are still seeing the other parent. Sometimes you can parallel parent, hold your head high, do the children's handovers, meeting together, ignore their toxic words. If possible, have someone present on child handovers, even recording what's being said and done. Sometimes other safeguarding issues are in place, so you have to drop off and collect children in a busy place. Sometimes bigger safeguarding issues arise where children have to visit the other parent with a safe person around. Sometimes safeguarding issues are that big, they can only see the other parent in a contact centre. And sometimes the safeguarding issues are too extreme and the children can simply not see the other parent as it's far too dangerous. And then with the extreme cases where you have to move miles away, whichever contact or no contact you and the children have with the other parent is fine, as although all narcissists have similar traits, they all have different levels of manipulation and of violence. Whatever your personal situation, keep as much as possible in writing from the start in case the children need to see this when they are older. Be prepared for upsetting deep heart-to-hearts with children when they ask. Just give age-appropriate answers. Only you know your child and what they are capable of understanding or not. One thing that is the same in all of these situations is the toxic parent will never ever see it as being a problem they have caused. They will always lay the blame on you. They will twist it all around on you, to your face and behind your back. Limited contact with the routine. The less time they spend with them, the more time the children's brain can think clearly for themselves. Routine, so exact day of the week every week, or same evening. If it's a Monday, stick with a Monday. Exact time, allowing for traffic delays. If they're a no-show, then that is their problem and in fact a blessing on your children. If they don't arrive at the time arranged, tough, again, that's their problem. This is difficult on children, so try not to let the children know that they are coming, because children feel extremely let down growing up with parents that don't turn up for them when they show they did. You're doing nothing wrong. You're just trying to create stability and routine. So when they don't turn up, try and have plans to do stuff with your children. It's hard with everything that they're throwing at you and the children. Just remember, when they are coming at you, one word answers towards them with no emotion. If they ask to pick up on another day, if it suits you and it suits the children, just say yes. If not, it's a no. And if they tell you that, you know, you're the one keeping them apart and all the other games they play, then all you need to say is the children are here on the days arranged. If they come with you keeping the children away from me, if you must respond, use their own words against them. It confuses them when you don't react. So just say things like, that's interesting, sorry you feel that way, or why would you think that? One of the things is sticking to your truths, knowing your truths, knowing that those arrangements have been made. You've got plans, the children have got plans, they couldn't be bothered to see them, they're not willing to shift around when it suits. So if the children have got plans, they've got plans, you do them. If they want to twist it round to why that's your fault, that is their problem. Know your truths, do not get sucked into their words. They love messing around with routines. There's no need to explain yourself more than once to them, as you've most likely done this countless times and it's fallen on deaf ears. With their cognitive distortions, I'll also add that video in the descriptions, they will twist things around and try to take you off topic. So explain once and leave it. After giving them chance after chance to pick up children on their days, if they don't want to, they don't want to. That's their responsibility. Don't be fooled. They do not change. They always resort back to their manipulative ways. They only love and care about themselves. That's even if they do love themselves. So instead of wasting your breath, turn it into a positive with your children. Yes, this is hard, but it can be achieved. You might find they want to start doing the school run with the children. This is usually so they can get into a relationship with one of the parents up there, or worse, the teacher. They're always looking at what they can gain control over with no thought to how it affects those around them. Remember, they are looking to win at all costs. You need to look at the end game. They may have made the child say stuff to you like it's your fault, or the children are starting to blame themselves. Simply let the children know it's not daddy's fault, it's not mummy's fault, and it's definitely not your fault. Sometimes in life things just don't work out. So look for the positives and move forward. Reinforce whenever you need to. When things are repeated, it sinks in, but we need to sink positive things in, not the negative things. So find the positives, tell them, and it can be hard. Sometimes you have to say things through gritted teeth. If they've moved straight in with someone new and the children are finding it hard and saying things like, just letting them know that it's not their problem, it's not their fault, it's just what some adults do. If they've moved in with someone new and the children are finding this difficult, as you might be finding this difficult, remember, no one falls in love faster than a narcissist that needs somewhere to live. This is not love. This is using people for their own gains. It is hard on you at first, and it's hard on the children, especially it's hard on you if the children come home really liking the new partner. Remember, no one can replace you. The children love you. Think of it that they've got more people to love them, and hopefully one good role model in that house when they are with the toxic parent. Now, narcissists will talk to children in very manipulative ways, asking questions about you, planting those seeds of doubt. The children will often come back different, throwing everything at you. They may be stressed or agitated. This is actually a positive. No, not that your children are acting this way, but the positive, your children feel safe, secure, and loved enough with you to be themselves, to let it all out. So let them let it out. They need to get it out. Ask them what's bothering them. Let them know if they don't want to talk now. It's okay. Do not put your words into the children's heads. This can be hard and frustrating with all the games the other parent is playing. They need to learn they have one parent that will listen and they don't have doubts around the reliable parent. And once they have got it out of the system, find something to bring them back out of that mindset. Watch something funny, read a funny book, whatever you and your children enjoy doing together to bring them out of that mindset and lift them back up. You need to accept that right now your child might not be able to see who they are clearly and who you are, with all the distorted words from the narcissist. Just love them, accept them, be there for them. It will slowly become clearer to them. The truth always outs itself. As you know from being in a relationship with one, it always outs. It just takes time. Limited contact is the best approach. If safeguarding is too big, then it has to be no. The narcissist may suddenly decide that they want to get involved with doctors and what schools the child goes to. And yes, look into the schools. Don't just say no because it's what the narcissist wants. If you've already looked into the school and don't like it, then yes, it's a no. If not, go in with an open mind. You know and you genuinely care about your child. You know what's suitable. They don't. They are only thinking of themselves. Now, you can have two good parents that are just clashing on opinions, and they will usually find a way to compromise. A narcissist does not compromise. They just want it their own way. So stick to what, if you are the main carer for the child, stick to what is best for you and your child. So stick with your choice. I'm not saying rule things out just because of who they are. Just stick with your beliefs and what you think is right. They may want their children to do activities with them. Some will try to get the children not to do activities because they can't be bothered to do it, but others want them to. I believe that that's good, as they cannot directly speak one-on-one to the child while the child is at an activity, although they might use these to put the children down when they don't play or do or perform or act as the narcissist wanted them to, or because the narcissist perceives this as an embarrassment. The only way for you to counteract this is by making sure you also get to take the children. Now, I don't mean go together, just 1 week they do it, 1 week you do it, or you do an activity on one day, they do the activity on another day. And when you do it, make sure you tell the children, and you probably do this anyway, and there's no wrong way and there's no right way to parent your children. There is only your way, and with good intentions, there is only your way. And with two parents that care for the children, you can tell like white lies of we can't buy that, we haven't got any money today, and things like we do to try and get the easy life. It's not to manipulate, it's just the easy life. But you have to be really careful with your words when the other parent is toxic. So the same as giving children praise, you don't want to overpraise them, but you've got to counteract what games the narcissist is playing. So when you take them, tell them how proud you are, you lifting the spirits up. Do not mention if they play bad, because the narcissist will often do that to them anyway. If the child comes to you and asks you, because because they're so used to the other parent putting them down all the time, because they're so used to the other parent putting them down all the time, then you need to say things to them like, well, do you think you made a mistake? And if they say yes, they did, then let them know it's fine. We all make mistakes. It's not something to worry about. Instead, think what you could do within yourself to improve for you. Could you practice more? I personally think you did amazing, and it's a great quality to know your own strengths and your own weaknesses. Just remember that you did well, and don't let others put you down for trying, and just keep going. You're only in competition with yourself. So just lifting their spirits up and letting them know that mistakes are allowed and everything is a learning curve in life. The same as if you're going on holidays or days out with children. The narcissist will resent this, and they will try and stop you going or try and stop you having anything fun in your life. They may say things to the child like, you cannot go on holiday and leave me, I'll be lonely. Why don't you tell the other parent that you don't want to go? Now, what I've learned is the best thing is, now, again, if you're dealing with someone that isn't a narcissist, it's always wise to inform each other and try and build that co-parenting relationship up. If you're dealing with a narcissist, then yes, I do recommend being honest and telling them, but I think it's always best to wait till the last time they've seen that child, that sounds awful, the last time they've seen your child, because then they can't get into the child's head. Once the child is home, safe, and you're going away in a couple of days and you know that they're not going to see them again, that is the best time to inform them, because they can't get into the child's headspace and they can't manipulate the mind. So if they see them on a Tuesday, you're going away on the Sunday, just let them know on the Wednesday. Keep all communication via email or messages. If they drag you to mediation or to court, this is vital to have as much communication, written evidence as possible, because the first thing they will do is twist everything that they do onto you, and then you can simply hand over all the written evidence and watch the narcissist squirm, as no one throws a bigger tantrum than a narcissist being shown facts of evidence of things that they definitely did do. There is also great apps. I know in the UK there is Our Family Wizard. That's a great app that keeps things recorded. I'm not sure about other countries, but look those up. And remember to remain calm and polite in your response, Remember, when you use these things as evidence, people look at both sides of these messages. Don't panic. Most of us have sent some reaction ones. Now is the time to learn not to react and just respond. Children can and will thrive with the unconditional love of one stable parent. Eventually, they will grow up and know the difference between a narcissistic personality disorder and other personalities. Surround yourself and your children with as many positive people as you can to counteract the mental abuse. So, how do you help yourself? Well, first you need to remember that one strong, happy, safe, loving parent is enough for your children to grow up happy and secure. Working on a happier you, your self-love, your self-esteem, each and every day. Focus on where you'd like to be 1 year from now and take those steps to make those new dreams your reality. Again, and I know I've probably repeated this a few times, but it is very important. It's vital. Keep everything recorded. Keep all messages or emails recorded. Not just for courts and mediation, but also for when the children are old enough, if they start asking questions, when they're old enough to understand. And you can stick with facts, not fight fire with fire. Put it out by blaming no one to the child, explaining that it's no one's fault. Things happen, people don't get on all the time. But if they want more information, it is there. Try to keep your mind busy. If they see the other parent or not, try new things with your children. Try to stay positive and try to stay happy, which I know isn't easy to start. It does get easier. Stick with your boundaries. Narcissists love to take these down, so stick with them. Call the authorities each and every time that they threaten you. Get restraining orders, non-molestation orders, whatever protection orders you need. You must get them. And even if the police can't do anything at that time, it builds up a record. If children don't see the other parent and you don't have much family around, join support groups, join toddler groups, join new activities. Connect with others for you and your children. If they're older, let them join activities, dancing, martial arts, tennis, football, swimming, soccer, hockey. Team sports are good as they can make new friends and you can make new friends with the other parents. If possible, try to find time for yourself to relax, to do the things that you love to do for you. You need to keep yourself in top shape for this. You need to keep your mind in the best possible place you can to deal with all the stuff they throw at you. Exercise is good, yoga's good, meditation's good, healthy eating, getting into sleep. And I know it's hard to try and sleep when you've got games going on around you, but trying to get enough rest and trying to take care of yourself. Finding your sense of humour truly helps. Whatever your sense of humour is, finding your sense of humour. Some of the messages that they can send can be hideous and they can trigger that anger in you and that resentment in you, and you want them to just see sense and just see what they're doing, which they're not going to do. It's who they are. So once you're in that negative mindset, they've got to you. They've got what they wanted. They have got to you. You're angered, you're reacting, and I understand at the time it's difficult to pull yourself through it. But if you can read the messages and find the funny side in it, find the laughter side in it, once you know that your children are okay and you are okay, and you can find and pull that funny side of their unbelievable yet believable toxic negative words, once you're laughing, it keeps your spirits up. It keeps you in that happier mindset. Find support. friends, family members, online friends that have lived it and been through it. So I'm ever so sorry. This has been an extremely long video. I'm going to cut it now because I know I've been on for over about 30 minutes. And I could go on and on and on when it comes to children. So I'll add some video links in the description. Key points to remember: a narcissist only ever puts themselves first. Some are extremely dangerous, so please be careful. Boundaries and routines are best. Stick to them. That can be very hard when dealing with idiots. And you might have moments of taking steps backwards. Don't worry about it. It happens. Just go again. When they come at you, hang up the phone, close the door, say no, do not let them in your home. Retreat, rethink, and only respond if you need to do so. Keep communication by messages or email. Teach your children to put themselves in others' shoes and teach them empathy. Teach them if something doesn't feel right, they don't do it. Focus on creating a new, happier life for you and your children, taking those steps day by day. You can and you will. Get as much support from those around you as you possibly can. Get child psychologists in for the children if needed. And just keep going. Just keep going at it. I've got lots of advice on this topic, as you can probably gather from the length of the video. So anything, please email me and I shall answer any questions on this. Please ask anything in the comments and I shall answer any questions on this. In the description is the links to the other social media where you can find more information in different formats. There is also the online courses that I run to help you recover from narcissistic abuse, and I shall link the videos that I've mentioned in this video in the description. Thank you very much for listening, and believe yourself, you will get through this. Bye.